right on. You never know.
Designed for growing grooming. Ooh, that's very delicate place. I've been searching for that.
Whenever you're ready, Mike, you can start.
Ready? Okay, I'm ready. Once you do that, yeah.
That's fine.
Guys, we are live. Welcome back to another episode of IFTV. We got Mike here. We got Antonio here. We got the long-awaited Gaetano over here that we haven't seen him in so long. We had to put lost photos for him, but we finally got him over. I haven't seen him in like 2 months, I feel like.
That's why
I was here.
We got Marco.
No, I was here a couple of
ago?
Yeah. About two and a half podcasts ago, I was here.
It feels like long.
Yeah,
That's because I care so much
Because
about
you
Gaetano.
miss
It seems
me.
more. Exactly.
I know.
That's what it is.
Yeah, but when you're not
So-
here, he's like, oh, it's so much better.
I don't
without
say
Gaetano.
that. I don't. He's lying.
True.
Look it up
It's
now.
true, right?
True.
Yeah.
He's lying.
He said,
You guys are all
he's like, the
liars.
only reason why I want Gaetano here is to beat him in football.
He's
That's
lying.
usually what he says.
Mike, is that true?
He's lying.
That's what
Don't
Mike
do it.
said.
By the way, one-on-one.
Who can believe
the
your
last
son
time,
or me?
one-on-one, I beat you.
Wait, what?
The last one,
I didn't even
one-on-one.
bring up football. Why is this
What do you mean?
what? I just said I miss you. Now
Can I
you're
say one thing?
interrogating me.
Let
I
me say
miss
one-
you too,
Okay,
Mike.
can we cut the crap and just go to the thing over here?
Ryan beat you in football. Huh?
BS.
He did. I
We'll
witnessed
never.
it.
Listen, I can
witnessed
play Ryan with my hands behind the back. Like this.
How are you gonna swing?
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that.
You're gonna use the Manscaped?
Yeah.
But Ryan really beat him. One game only. Out of a series, you win.
I was not not even looking at it.
I want to be here for the next match.
For the next one, Ryan's in.
Yeah.
No, that should be good for sure.
Boys, welcome back to the podcast. As you see here, we got Manscaped sponsoring this episode again. A shout out to them. We're gonna have an ad coming a little while into the show. After we have so much to talk about. I want to remind everybody, if you're here right now and you're enjoying this podcast, we're trying a new thing where we're scheduling the post in the morning, so you guys know that we're starting at 7 p.m. exactly. So there's a lot of people just waiting for us to go live. So everyone who's in the chat right now, hit that like button. If you're new to this channel, hit the subscribe too. We appreciate you. We appreciate a lot of the people coming over from Troops' channel who had us on the podcast. Welcome. We'll help
Troops channel? Is that the
Troops.
guy from Arsenal?
He's an Arsenal fan.
The Arsenal fan?
He's from Barstow.
Hey, Troop, if you're looking at it, if you're looking at this podcast right now live, I heard that you and I, we're going to have a fight. So for some reason, so I can't wait to fight you, okay, Troop?
You want to fight him?
Like a fish fight?
He knows what I mean. He knows what
I don't think he knows.
Like a
We're going to have some
debate sort
fun.
of
We're going to have
thing.
some
Yeah,
fun,
yeah.
Troop, okay?
Yeah, you two together, you're a little bit too crazy.
You're too crazy? That's what I
Maybe.
like that. I like
We're
that.
gonna have to put you guys in handcuffs or
So
something.
maybe
it's
Troop
gonna
is
get
going to
wild.
invite us over there, or maybe we invite Troop over here.
He's gonna come. He's gonna come.
He's
soon.
going to come.
He's
So
gonna come over
officially, Troop, you're invited right here, right now at the podcast.
Brooklyn.
Okay. All right.
That's it.
Nice.
All right, Mike. Where are we starting today? We have a lot to get to, guys. This weekend was a depressing one.
Why?
For Marco.
Na 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 na. Pioli's on fire. Na 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 na. Pioli's on fire. You got that? All right. You know what? Even with this, we're not gonna make it anyway. Go ahead. Your turn.
Wow.
We're not gonna make it. We're not gonna make it. Listen,
You
I
beat
know
Juventus
it's
3-0.
one day
You're still
out of
playing the mind games?
365 days that I can have fun. I'm having fun right now because I know it's gonna be bad news for us anyway. Move.
Yeah. What happened a couple of weeks ago? Pioli was out. He was on his way. He had one foot out the door. Now
I didn't
all of a
say,
sudden-
but listen.
No, but
to
that's
me,
why
it doesn't make any.
That's what they were reporting, right? That Pioli, he's not going to stay. He's not going to. He was number 5. You were number 15. He's going to be out of the Champions League. He's not going to stay.
Listen, I officially said yesterday in front of everybody that I will take Pirlo over Pioli. Even if they begin with a P, P-I of them, I will take the P-I with the long hair over the guy with no hair. Okay? I will take Pirlo anytime over Pioli.
You're just messing with us now. Now you're just trying to rub it in.
No, I'm
You're
not trying to rub it in. I will
on me
try.
now.
I'll tell you the reasons why. I have a lot of respect for a champion. Pioli's never been a champion, so I respect Pirlo.
Right.
Pirlo is he's got no fault of his own that he's got a bunch of losers.
No
play
comment for
him.
that. That's for sure.
All right, go ahead.
Should we allow him to start?
Yeah,
with,
go ahead, Gaetano. Start your
I
crime.
mean, we'll start with the 3-0.
Do we want to do it immediately?
We don't want to start with it.
Yeah, of
bang?
course.
Should
That's
we make-
the most important game of the week.
Start with Inter, and then we go to the
Okay,
3-0.
that's
All right, start with Inter.
So Inter, first of all, Inter's chilling right now. They won the scudetto, about 15 points. They played pretty much their B team. They beat Sampdoria too. They beat them 5-1. They're looking good. They're playing for fun. It looks like a scrimmage for them. These guys were just doing whatever they wanted with them. And I think the important thing, I wish Peter was here too. So he
Peter's
can talk
out in
about
Texas,
it.
by the way.
Yeah,
guys.
Pete's out.
He's on
Please
business.
leave him in Texas. Who needs that guy? Jesus.
But yeah, Inter did get the job done against Sampdoria. I don't think there wasn't anything too much to say. I was actually surprised how well they beat them. I thought it was going to be a tight game, but I guess this was the first game since they were champions. So I guess when you have that in your in the atmosphere that you already won, you're just playing free football, playing for fun and all that stuff.
Ranocchia pulled off a bicycle kick.
Oh yeah.
That says it all. They were having fun. That's it.
That's when it looked like some sort of charity match. And when you don't have that pressure, when you know the Scudetto's over, it was like interesting to see the atmosphere.
And they're not even getting paid. I figured that out.
Oh wow.
2 months. They're gonna have 2 months of their salary is gonna be probably docked. We'll see.
That's what they're saying.
By the way, they I give respect to Ranieri too. He gave them an honor. What is it called? The Walk of Honor?
Oh, yeah, when they walked into the field, there were
guard of
players
honor
on each side, and they went through.
He said that he had gotten it done when he did that with Leicester, when he won the league with Leicester, so he gave the respect to Inter. Ranieri is always a classy guy, so respect him for doing that. But I mean, I don't know how much there is to really say about this. It's not a match that maybe it was just a celebration and enjoyment for them, a lead up until you know that the game that they're waiting for is to play Juventus by the end of the season. They're just waiting for that one and going to charge up their energy, make sure that they're continuing to be able to score goals in lead up to that match, because that's a really one that matters. Against Sampdoria doesn't matter.
The reports are too that Conte is gonna rest his players for the next 2 games, and then for Juve he's gonna play his full strength strength lineup. So it's gonna be fun for the Derby d'Italia for sure.
Whatever they're gonna do and rest or whatever they're gonna lose against Juventus. So let him do whatever.
Wait,
he
why
wants
do you
to
say
do.
that?
But right now they're jumping up and down. They're celebrating everything that I see. They're at the Duomo. They're in Piazza. They're everywhere, jumping up and down. But they got a lot of problems. Number one problem is
Cash.
that the Zhang asked the players not to get the salary for 2 months. Okay, the players are not going to go for that. I don't know if the union is going to get involved or whatever the thing is. If you have something to do it privately. Go to one of the players and say, hey, listen, we're having a problem with money. Can we see your contract? Maybe we can adjust it, and maybe in a year or two, when the things get a little bit better, maybe we can give you a little bit extra here. But to bring it out like this in the open, it doesn't look good for Inter. It doesn't look good for the club. And to tell you the truth, I don't know at this point what the story is with Marotta, if he's staying, if he's leaving. I don't know what the story is with Conte. The players want to know, am I going to be here with Conte or without Conte? Am I going to play for Conte? Because some of the players now, I guess they bought into his system and they like the way they're playing, and they want to know what's going on next year. And I tell you one thing, Conte, if he doesn't get what he wants, he's going to have offers coming from a lot of clubs, especially in the Premier League. There's already clubs that have they wanted him. So if he doesn't get what he wants, what's going to happen to Inter next year? I don't know. There's a lot of question marks.
We had said earlier, and we said in the podcast a few times ago, a couple weeks ago, that Inter, it was like the closet that you have in your house where the guests are coming over, you just shove everything. They wanted to just win the Scudetto. We knew this was coming out in like January, February. We knew that was going to happen, but they just banded together and said, all right, we'll figure it out after we win the Scudetto. So that's really, the thing that's happening now. We know Inter, as was, a lot of Serie A teams and all teams in general, were hit hard by COVID and the financial losses in that. So I think this summer it's really going to be dependent on if they're able to sell to get an investment into their company. They're looking at some Americans that might be able to invest some money. But I do agree with you. It is a shaky time because, to be honest, if you just won the Scudetto as a player, you're going to tell me to cut 2 months of my salary. Nobody's going to accept that. Doesn't matter with COVID. You can have some leeway. But I think asking the champions of Italy to cut their salary for 2 months is probably not going to be something that they're going to take well to. And like you said, Conte too, Conte doesn't care. Conte wants a salary increase, number one, and he's going to want players to be able to buy. And rightfully, he wants 3 players.
Wow.
He wants 3 players.
Let me guess. Who does he want?
He probably wants a striker, a defender, and a left wing back.
Yeah.
A Gosens,
That's all?
something
Okay.
like. Oh no, sorry, not a center back. Goalkeeper, left wing back, striker, probably.
All right.
That's
Can
what
I-
he would want.
Can I put my 5 cents in all of this discussion that is really meaningless?
Yeah,
Let me
it
tell you
doesn't
something.
matter. We spoke about this though.
No,
before.
let me tell you something what I think. First
Let's-
of all, the walk of honor that they gave to them, it was given to them because it was all scripted. It was in San Siro. Because if this game was in Genoa, was Sampdoria against Inter, they would never let them walk and shake their hands in front of the crowd of the Sampdoria. I said, who the hell are you to come in over here and we have to just give you the red carpet welcome to you, first of all. Second of all, the fact that the salary have been discussed right now, because this is what's going on in China. Everybody's getting less money over there. Cannavaro, a lot of people, they're coming back over there because the Chinese government has said that nobody's going to be making more than $3 million if you play in this country.
Yeah, some of the
Am I right or wrong?
restrictions.
It's either 1 million or 3 million, something like that.
I don't know the exact restrictions,
So-
but they are having restrictions. So
Right.
it does lead into the problem.
Right.
But again, it's a lot of speculation
And I'm
from
sure,
our side.
Marco, I'm sure Zhang is under a lot of pressure from there to say, hey, listen, I don't care what you do, whether you won or you lost. I don't think you should be paying anybody more than this kind of money. So I'm sure the pressure is getting to them too. As far as Marotta, it can turn in a dime. Marotta, if the wind goes this way, immediately you're going to see the direction of Marotta. It's going to go straight there.
This guy.
So what I'm trying to tell you, that nobody over here is playing for the passion of the game. They're playing only for money. Look at what you guys said. I will never take a cut on the salary. Yes, you can.
I never said that.
No, he said that.
I said that they won't
winning
take-
the
they're not gonna
campionato.
take-
When you win the campionato and somebody comes to ask you for a cut on the salary
That's all right.
to review the
I
stuff.
said that it should have been done privately. You should have gone to them privately, put them in a room and said, listen, we're having some financial difficulties. What can we do to adjust your contract? Maybe later on, when we are in the Super League, we're making $300 million, then we can give you some extra money.
So-
I'm only joking.
Yeah, but Gaetano, whose style you think comes from to just, instead of
But
keeping
we
on the
don't know-
locker room?
We don't know that they didn't say it privately.
No, it's all over the newspapers.
all over.
It's on the newspaper.
But it could be leaked.
So don't you think
Are you
Marotta's
sure?
got something to do with that?
No. I think that this is, like you said, they're having some issues in China. I think that some of the team that they had, I don't know if the team is still there or is not there anymore in the league. So they have some difficulties. And like you said, they put a salary maybe cap and say, this is what we can spend and this is what we want to spend. So now it's up to the players, to accept or not accept it. But like I said, the big impact is the coach staying? Is Marotta staying? What's going to happen to some of the players?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, at the end of the day, it's if there was ever a time for the best time for Inter to get an investment, it's after winning the scudetto. So it's probably the best. It's obviously the best case scenario. If you have to get an American owner to come in, and whether it's a minority or a majority, doesn't matter. But the important thing is, the ownership has done a really good job up to this point to be able to win for the first time in 11 years. They got Conte, they got Marotta. They need to make sure they don't screw this up right now. I don't know what they have to do, but they need to be careful because it's a delicate moment. You don't want to have done all of this work and then the next season or this year to just throw it all away.
That's true.
Let me
You
just-
have to make sure that Conte and
Marco,
Marotta stay happy.
Let me put it very nicely for you on the table, okay? The reasons why 4 or 5 teams in Italy and a bunch of teams in England and in Spain, they were starting with this Super League is because the money is becoming an issue. All of those teams, they are on the red. They're running a huge deficit. So for some team like the Juventus, running a deficit, it's somehow okay and not okay because those guys, like Agnelli has shown, his real pedigrees. I'm here for the money. His father was a different man. This Agnelli over here, it's a different pedigree. It's a businessman. So he wants business first and then soccer. So that's why he went on Pirlo. He didn't want to spend a lot of money. He was not sure about the future of other potential coach coming to Juventus. He didn't want to overcommit himself. And then I said, you know what? This is a year of transition. He knew that he had a defense that it was gone already since the last couple of years. He managed to win the Campionato with Sarri. Now it's time to talk about plus and minus. He doesn't want to lose money. That's why he jumped into immediately the Super League, and he's one of the only team in Italy that has not backed up yet.
Milan hasn't backed out.
No, he did. They did.
They haven't backed out.
But they did.
No,
Yes, they did.
I don't think
Their
it's through the
statement
have
didn't
it.
say that they backed out. Technically.
Officially, I don't think.
Yeah.
Oh, from all this conversation, I'm still stuck with, and there's also people commenting this too. Gaetano, you said that for the Derby d'Italia, Inter could do whatever they want, but Juve are gonna win. And you said, why do you? First of all,
that's not even.
you said it so sure, as if Conte wouldn't spit blood so he can beat
Conte
Juventus.
could do whatever he wants, but when it comes to that game, Juventus, even though I'm going to criticize Juventus for the game that they played yesterday, which they have no creativity, they have no idea what's going on. But for that game, they're going to win that game.
And against Milan, that was another must-win they couldn't do, and they lose 3-0. And
was
the best
not a
team in Italy right
must-win.
now.
The must-win is against Inter. This was not a must-win. They're still there.
We'll get to you,
They're still 1 point away.
I'm complete opposite from you.
You know
from
what?
You're saying.
Maybe we should learn to trust Gaetano a little bit, because sometimes he's a little bit. Maybe your timeline is not always perfect, but you seem to get it right.
He's a little off couple months from time to time, you know. He's right. He's right. When he's right, he's right.
That leads me to my next topic.
That's why they call him the great one.
Great with G, right? That leads me to my topic, and the main topic right now is Vlahovic, a man who 2 years ago, when you saw him in training, before we even could pronounce his name, you said that this guy's going to become the next star of Serie A. We messed with you. We joked with you. We laughed at you. We criticized you. I was kind of mad, though, because I gave him the breakout start last year. You know, because I listened to you. It should have been for this year. Vlahovic scored 2 goals against Lazio, which puts him at 21 goals this Serie A season, tied with Lukaku, who everyone will talk about, and deservedly so, but tied with Lukaku and tied with Muriel, who's another guy that we'll talk about too. An absolutely unbelievable season for Dusan Vlahovic at 21 years old. What do you have to say about it?
And what about in Europe? How is he doing in Europe for the ones that are older than that were born after 2000? He must be one of the top goal scorers.
Haaland is one.
He's top 5 with like Haaland, Mbappe, and Jadon Sancho.
Okay. So why Vlahovic? Because I was with him for 2 weeks, and I saw him practice every day, and I saw that the kid, he was the first one to get to practice. He was the last one to leave the practice. He was running harder than anybody. When the temperature was 100 degrees and everybody was complaining, he never complained. He was running and sweating at every play. And every shot that he took from any angle, he always went to the goal.
Sounds like a Conte player. In the heat, he doesn't stop, right?
Yeah.
So we should have
That's
pushed.
why
Here comes the intercloset.
That's why he impressed me. And I at that point, I said, oh, my God, if I was a Fiorentina owner or a manager, I could sell anybody, but not this kid.
Wow.
We should have listened to you when we were doing our interviews, and we should have requested Vlahovic right away.
Gaetano, the thing is, the first season when he didn't score any goals, we were like
we weren't
kind of
laughing
making
at you.
fun of you. I'm not
How
gonna
old
lie,
is the
but
kid?
we were wrong.
It's like
21.
It's 21.
Yeah, I'm saying 20 years old.
Hey, maybe
Come
we can
on.
talk to Joe. We can talk to Joe or Mr. Commisso. We can see if we can line up an interview with Vlahovic. Joe, if you're watching the podcast, can you just do us a favor?
Comiso, there's a video in the locker room with Comiso where there was a video like a while back. I don't know if you guys remember, where Comiso and Vlahovic were juggling the ball together.
I did. That was
You've
funny.
seen that a while back. And before that, he hadn't scored that many goals. So Comiso told him in the locker room, he goes, look, you see, you started scoring after you started juggling the ball with me. It was a funny video. But in all fairness, the kid's been sensational. One of the best talents I think we could say in Europe at the moment. You have to give him respect.
Can we get him on IFTV?
Yeah, well, that's the
sure
goal.
we can
That's the
arrange
goal.
something, yeah.
We spoke to him on Instagram, so we'll see if we'll be able to.
We'll get a couple of connections over there.
Yeah,
maybe.
Joe, I think is going to be watching either Joe or Commisso. We're gonna, but you see Commisso most of the time. I mean, if I were working in the airport, I would just block him, put him on a corner. I said, "You're not leaving from here unless you make us interview Vlahovic."
So, having said all that, I do want to say,
with all due respect, right?
With all due respect, having said that, I do want to say too, Vlahovic. This became a hot topic on our last live stream, which was, what does Vlahovic's future entail? The three of us were already on, and we had given our opinion, and we'll say our opinion for those that are new over here. But I want to get your opinion for Vlahovic. Do you think that there's going to be offers in the summer from some top teams? What do you think his price is at? Because now, of course, they were talking about the 40 million range, but now I think it's pushing more to the 15, 60 million euro range for Dusan Vlahovic. What's your opinion on his price, and what do you think will happen this summer with him?
Well, he always has said that he thanks Fiorentina for everything that they've done to him. So he's been there, and he started there, and I think he wants to say, he always said the right words, and he wants to stay there. He's happy in Florence, so he will not be another case that he wants to run away. He will want to stay there. Commisso, he does not need the money. So if somebody offers us the money, I don't think that. I think it's going to keep him. The other players and other teams will want him, of course. Yeah, already AC Milan said that they want him, and I'm sure there are some Premier League that are ready to pay some top money, like you said, in the $50 million range. But I think at this point, if Fiorentina wants to go into the Europa League, that was the goal. I think once Rocco got the team, that was the objective. They cannot sell him. That's a player that they can sell. They can sell everybody else, but not him.
So which
I do
is
agree with
technically,
you.
Gaetano, I agreed with me because
We all agreed that Fiorentina, from Fiorentina's perspective, they shouldn't sell him. We want for Fiorentina to stay competitive and to be a
gotta
good team.
keep him,
you have to
man.
keep your stars.
But you were saying at the same time that at 21, if somebody is playing for the Champions League and is looking for your service, you should immediately consider to leave the team. I said the kid grew up into Fiorentina, was very young. They started the game. He loves the city. He loves the ownership.
Fiorentina.
Well, he didn't grow up, but he embraced the Florence as his country for.
You sound like
for
his agent
soccer
over here.
country. Listen. He's the only player for me that I see in Florence where you can build at the franchise. He can be so far. He's the only franchise player that I can see. I don't see anybody else.
Milankovic, too.
No way.
But he wants to
He's
leave
very
anyway.
good.
I
He
didn't
said
know
he
that.
wants to leave.
He said that already.
Yeah, he said he wants to leave. So.
The thing is, I didn't say that. You're from Fiorentina's perspective, I wouldn't sell him. What I said was, if I'm Dusan Vlahovic and I have an Inter that comes to call and says, I want you, or I have Manchester City or United or Real Madrid or Barcelona. I said, if you have a Champions League team, a top Champions League team that wants to sign you, of course he would want to go. Why wouldn't he want to go to one of the top teams? From his perspective, if you're Dusan Vlahovic and the top team in Champions League comes to you, this is where we got into the disagreement, where Michael and maybe you said that he should stay there another season to develop in Fiorentina.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I said that if I was Vlahovic and I got that offer, I would 100% leave and go to the top team.
And Gaetano, what do you think about that? Well, we already said our
Yeah,
stuff, but what do you think about that?
If you're Dusan Vlahovic,
Listen,
do you-
everybody wants to play for a big club. I mean, your dream when you dream at night, you dream to play for the top teams in the world. Now, is he ready to make that step? That's something that he has to decide. Some players, they make that step, and then nothing happens to them. Actually, they go backwards. Some of them, they make the step, and they are successful. If I was him, probably, I would want to stay another year, and then I'll take my chances.
I agreed with you
Everyone
though.
has
I did
different
say it's
perspective.
definitely what's inside of you. But what I'm saying is that a player like you said that dreams at night, when you have the opportunity and you see on the horizon that I could say yes to this team, this top team, you do not know what happens next year. You do not know if you get injured. You do not know if you don't have another great year where you score 21 goals. You don't know. There's always that next kid. Haaland came out of nowhere in a couple of months, and all of a sudden he was a top prospect in Europe. You don't know if that void is going to be filled at another team, and you risk going down. I do agree with you, though. If you feel inside that you don't have it, then don't go. But the really big players, the players that want to make it and want to stay at the top, they have that fire inside them that once they come calling, they say, yes, I will grab it with both hands.
Listen.
An example in the reverse is Berardi, who every time a big team called him, he said, no, let me stay one more year. He didn't have it. He doesn't have it to be a champion. He's a very good player. He's perfect for Sassuolo. I'm just saying that there's a level to it. And if you have that inside of you, you do accept.
And then Bernardeschi, if you look on the
Forget about
devil's
Bernardeschi.
advocate-
but a
devil's advocate.
player like that, I would argue, never really had it to be at that
I
top
don't think
level.
so. I think Bernardeschi had a lot of hype with him, similar to with the Chiesa thing. And when he went there, he was expected to fulfill bigger potential, and he never really fulfilled that.
Well, Chiesa
and
was
maybe
also said
staying
the
one
same
more
thing, though.
season at Fiorentina could have done it. Not saying it's different from every single person, but sometimes you need that year, sometimes you don't. It depends.
Mike, let me just give you my 5
I don't.
cents
Do you
about
think?
this.
Do you think Bernardeschi, if he stayed one more year at Fiorentina, would have become a great player?
No.
I don't think so either.
But you
I
could, we're just
think
assuming now.
No,
You
but
never know, you know?
Of
That's the
course you
thing.
know. You just look at the player and you see
It's
how he
not-
responds. Because if
but
you
it's
don't
not black
respond
or
in the
white.
moments that it calls, he's
Right.
had enough time.
No.
It's not like he had one bad season at Juve and they dropped him.
I don't think it's black or white like that.
No, it 100%
I don't- I
is.
don't-
Listen to me,
100%. You
listen
either
to
have
me.
it or you don't have
Faisal,
it.
listen to me. First of all, talking about Vlahovic, Rocco and Joe Barone when the offer, if the offer they come and when the offer they come, they're gonna of course they're gonna look at the offer and then they're gonna see how many years of contract this kid has.
But we're past that. We're not talking about Fiorentina's perspective. We're just talking about
In
Vlahovic.
general.
That's what I'm saying to you. We're discussing about Vlahovic. So this kid here is if he commands the $60 million, like you say, and according to Rocco and Joe, that with those $60 million they can make the team better, they're probably gonna sell it. Okay. Knowing that the player is really wants to go. But if the player wants to stay, the $60 million can just be considered as, hey, thank you for the offer, but the player wants to stay over here, we'll keep it. Because Gaetano said it right before. I said Rocco doesn't need the money. Rocco is somebody that loves the game of soccer, and it's not there trying to make a big buck and flip the team right away.
The only issue with that is, let's say he has 2 more years on his contract. I don't know. I'm not saying, I'm just making this up. But let's say if he has 2 more years on his contract, next year they're going to make a big decision. And then also, if he comes in with an offer with a lot of money, can Fiorentina afford to pay his salary? Because Fiorentina has got a budget, and the budget is, I think what Rocco said was 90 million. So that's what they go only up to. So then they cannot afford somebody to pay somebody 6, 7, 8 millions. You know, they get to the $2, $3 million range, 4 million, and that's it. So that's also an issue for the future.
For you, if Bernardeschi stayed another year at Florence, do you think he becomes a great player?
No. But one thing I have to say, going back to Mike, when he went to Juventus, I was there for the interview. I was there. I was present for the first interview. We were here. I was with Juventus, and they thought that he might get the number 10. In fact, we were all waiting the next day to see what number he would get. And the talk at night was, will he get number 10? So there was some kind of hype about Bernardeschi.
100%.
And
I remember.
You know, that he could be this.
Yeah.
And then the next day, I think he got number 33 or whatever he got. And they
he was
said,
never getting the number 10.
You know, and he said, you know, were you expecting the number 10? And but some of the journalists, they did ask that.
Yeah,
that
but
question.
just because a journalist asked it doesn't mean there's any base to that.
Okay, so
that's baseless.
So Bernardeschi, let's say if we would have gone to going to Juventus, he could have become, I don't know, somebody like Chiesa. Chiesa went there. Mm-hmm. I mean, some people said, and I think you even said, he's going to sit on the bench. Mm-hmm. Chiesa is going to sit on the bench.
They said he needs 1 more year.
Right. Chiesa, he did step up, even though yesterday now, but during the season, he's been a good positive for Juventus. I mean, he did step up. Bernardeschi did not. Bernardeschi went down, Chiesa went up. So, and those are basically, more or less, we are in that same category.
Chiesa's 23, by the way.
There's just two types. There's just two
a couple
types.
years older.
He was 1 year older when he had to make the decision. Vlahovic is
22.
21. He was 22.
Yeah.
So there's 1 year of a difference.
Okay, 1 year.
But I'm just saying that there's just two types of players, like you said.
Right.
You either have it or you don't, and that's it. And for me, it's too much of a risk. If I'm a player, and I would have that fire inside of me to play at the top level, you never risk staying 1 more year over there. Because now there's kids that are 16, 17, 18, 19 that are playing in Champions League and dominating at Champions League. It's no longer, you're 21, it's time to step up. You don't have to wait till you're 25, 26, because then you're already way past it and your kid's 10 years younger going there. Anyway,
I just want to say, we have a quick, before we go into something else, or Manscaped sponsor, I just want to say, Azajan with a quick donation, thank you for that. He said, would you rather take Keane or Vlahovic? They're both strikers. They're both 21
That's a
years
tough
old.
question.
So it's a very good
Keane,
question.
Keane's got no talent. I mean, he's got some good skills, but no talent compared to
That's a really good question.
I think Vlahovic is more of a gamble. Keane, you kind of know what you get in a sense. He's more, like, he's been around longer, is what I mean.
He's never scored 21 goals in Serie A.
That's true. But that's why
he's still a work in progress.
Keane, he had to score less than 6 in Serie A.
But PSG is doing good. Yeah, not 21.
21 is on a different level.
But Keane,
and also with Fiorentina.
But Keane,
that's even harder. That's even harder than at Juve.
Keane's been around longer, and he's at the same age.
How old
you got to
is Keane?
think both same age. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, so it's interesting.
I love Keane. I do prefer Keane, but to say Vlahovic is more of a gamble is kind of weird for me.
Because it's 1 season is what I meant.
When you get 20 goals and over, that is a really that's a hard season.
Yeah, for sure.
21 goals in Serie A is not easy, Mike.
So you would say Vlahovic?
Oh, by far.
Vlahovic, who do you say?
I'll go against the grain. I'll say Keane.
No.
Who do you say?
Vlahovic.
Wow, it's hard. It's really hard. I would say Keane. I'll give Keane the benefit of the doubt. That's a great question.
Keane's
That's a great question.
You got to understand, Keane played in Champions League. He played in numerous clubs. He
what?
played for his national team.
Has he broke 15 goals?
I mean, I could check. I know at PSG this season he's doing pretty good, but he's been around longer. I'm not saying anything. It's tough.
He's been around longer and he's never broke 15 goals. I don't think he's broke 15 goals in a season. That kind of plays against him. And I chose Keane, but I'm just being fair.
I get double.
I'm being fair.
He's never been a starter.
No.
Yeah.
Vlahovic is a starter.
Fair. That's fair. They were
He
also
was
playing at different
Fiorentina
teams.
too. I mean,
But wait,
he played at
wasn't he at
Verona.
Hellas Verona?
Yeah, he played at Verona too.
He was at Hellas Verona.
He was, yeah.
Listen, one thing.
Check on transfer market.
One thing that I will advise.
I love that question. That's
One
a
thing
really
that I
good
will
question.
advise Vlahovic to stay in Florence is this is the main reasons I said. In Florence, all the services that they're gonna go deep, they go through him. In other words, everybody's looking for him to do some damage. The vast majority of the Fiorentina plays as the hand line going to Vlahovic. If Vlahovic wound up playing for Juventus or for AC Milan or for Inter, he's going to be sharing the number of balls that are going to be arriving into the box, and he's going to try to do the best of it. So right now, if he's scoring 21 goals, it's because everything is going through him. He's the point man. He's the light into the middle of the box. So that's what they're doing. That's why I actually highly appreciated the fact that this guy he's got a lot of talent and skills, because in Serie A with all the defensive setup that they have, it's not easy to score 21 goals. So I would say to him, stay one more year over there, and then if Rocco and Joe Baron, they put you a couple other players and they implemented the squad of Fiorentina to the point that you can compete for the Champions League or for the UEFA, then you should be staying in Florence.
Before we go on to the Milan Juve game, which Antonio is very hyped up for, Manscaped is sponsoring our podcast. We got a little ad right now, so Mike, play that ad, and we'll see you in a few seconds. All right, boys, we have news for you. This show is brought to you by Manscaped.com. We had to interrupt this news and bring you the special product that just arrived. They have just released moments ago. We're one of the first people, IFTV is one of the first people to get the new Lawnmower 4.0, and they're hooking you up because you can get it first. Use code IFTV. You get 20% off. Not just 20% off.
What else you got?
Plus free shipping. 20% off will be for the regular guys,
For
the
the
basic,
amateurs.
but not for the IFTV fans. You get 20% off and free shipping using code IFTV. Get this amazing product. Mike, tell them some of the featers as I show how you use this.
First
over
of all,
here.
guys, if for some reason if you didn't get the 3.0, even better, you got to get the 4.0. All the cool kids are using it.
true.
I mean, we're using it. I think that's more than enough.
It looks beautiful.
And I think we're pretty cool. It does look...
Speak, Mike.
But regardless,
you're doing great.
If you're a cool kid or if you're someone like Antonio, you could definitely be using something like this. Marco, some new features is the ceramic blade and skin-safe technology, the new multi-function on and off switch. For people that love traveling, we all know we live in a crazy world. We can't be traveling like we want to. But when we do travel, Manscaped 4.0 has got your back.
Look what it says, Mike. It says it's a whole new balls game.
Yo,
I like that. Their marketing team, it's unbelievable.
Their
It's
lingo with
unbelievable.
this, it's great. It gets me every time. But Marco, also, we got the flashlight on here that people love so much. So they continue with that. They continued with the waterproof, so you can do it in the shower.
That's the best place to use
Best place
it.
to do. That's what I'm saying.
Easy cleanup.
You gotta carry over that feature and the new wireless charging over here, guys. We're
How does
living
a
in
wireless
2021 over here.
It's like our phones.
Yeah, to be honest, they said some scientific terms, but we're not smart enough to know what it is. All we know is it definitely does work, and it's dope. 4.0.
Guys, go and get this. This one specifically, as you guys have requested. Nobody here. I shouldn't say nobody likes Ryan, but they really don't. They don't. So we're gonna try to help Ryan out. We all have a road to recovery, right? Sometimes we start out bad and then we find the way forward. I think Manscaped will be the start to Ryan's journey to getting Manscaped, number one. So this is going towards him. This is going to him.
Yeah.
Guys, go and use it. 20% off. Code IFTV plus free shipping. Just they help support IFTV. They keep this show running. They support the podcast. They love Antonio. They love his ads. So guys, make sure you go do that. And now let's go back to the show now.
Okay, guys. Thanks for the little break, Manscaped. Again, thanks for sponsoring this podcast, and we are back. Gaetan, I think you want to say something quick about it.
We all had a chocolate break, by
yeah,
the
we
way.
did. I'm trying to scarf it down really quickly so I can talk normally.
No, I just saw I didn't realize they sign for the grooming. That's a very delicate area. So you have to have the best in order to.
No scratch.
You can trust this product.
No scratch, my friend.
I know,
Paisa.
and this is the product that you can trust, because I used it already.
You
so
did
it's
it?
good. Yes.
What about you?
What, you wanted me to show it to you?
We trust your word. We trust your word.
No,
I used it. Of course, I used it. What do you think? I'm kidding?
Milan Juve. Anto, start us off. Congrats. Congrats on the
listen,
win. You deserved it.
I deserved it. I mean, AC Milan deserved it. I mean, I was hoping for.
He didn't do anything.
I was hoping not to lose the game, and likely we didn't lose the game. And looking at the performance on the field, I didn't watch the first half because I was coming back from playing in New Jersey, and then I took a shower. Then I was here for the last 5 minutes of the first half, and I enjoyed watching the second half. But the game was still a very tense game until right after the AC Milan miss of the penalty. I started to get a little nervous, but nevertheless, AC Milan came through in a big way. Juventus was not the team that he played. He played the first game against AC Milan because Juventus he dominated the game, especially with the Dybala making the assist for Chiesa and Chiesa scoring 2 goals. That I said, you know what thing that struck me? I saw Chiesa against AC Milan. The first game was coming on the right hand side. This time here it was coming from the left. That was kind of weird. Why they played him on the left this game and he was playing right on the first game? This is what was kind of intriguing me. And then it was substituted for Kulusevski, right? He came in for Chiesa, but the main thing, I think AC Milan dominated the midfield, and the midfield was the major factor that Juventus didn't come through because this Bernardeschi, what's his name? The young kid from Uruguay, Bentancur, he had a very bad game. Normally, I like the kid, but he didn't have a good game. Quadrato didn't have a good game either. And the young American over there, McKennie didn't. I didn't see him at the stop. So when you take those 3 guys out of the equation, Ronaldo was trying to do something, but he didn't have much to. He didn't get a lot of balls, and whatever he had, and he just misplayed the balls.
How much do you love Tomori?
It's not a leader of the defense, but it's by far, I'm going to say by far a lot better than Romagnoli. Romagnoli has always been a bust for us. If Romagnoli was playing on AC Milan, the guy, he feels the tension of the game and he just makes so many stupid mistakes. And we paid a big price thanks to Romagnoli for we lost many points that I will attribute. I will point the finger at him.
So Anto, you okay? You'd be happy to buy Tomori if you guys make the Champions League? He's asking. It's gonna be around 30 to 40 million. That's how much Chelsea want.
Listen,
would you be okay?
Listen, it's not about whether we're gonna buy, whether we're not gonna buy it. Whether if the team has got enough money and Elliott comes up with the money, definitely I like him to stay because I will just give Romagnoli up in a heartbeat. So
we understand that.
Yeah,
so
you made that
I will
clear.
definitely keep it. I will definitely keep it.
Congrats to Milan. I think you guys deserve the win. You really came out there with a fight that none of us really expected. I think the max that we were saying was really a tie for Milan in this game. Even you were saying that you would be happy to have gotten a tie.
I said a tie of 1-0 because of we needed the points. No, for us.
No. You never said said a Milan win.
Yeah, I didn't hear that.
No. I mean,
maybe
it was
he said
on
it in his
camera.
head. He
You
said
were
it
on
was on
camera. It's all
camera.
recorded.
Pioli's on fire.
Yeah, your song. What was your song?
Na 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 na. Pioli's on fire.
I feel bad for the people listening with earphones. Their eardrum just exploded.
Fire that is going to be fired?
No, this was a chant that AC Milan player they started. But then Peter, that jerk that sits on your chair once in a while, he comes off with Inter is on fire or Milan is on fire.
They were singing Pioli's on fire.
Yeah,
they were doing it
Pioli's
to
on
mock.
fire.
Yeah, as a joke.
Inter
To
were
mock
doing
it.
it in their
To mock it.
okay.
To mess around.
So to mess
the
around
Inter
with
fans were
us.
saying
So
that.
now we try to
Push back a little bit, right?
screw it back to them. These bastards.
Yeah, so congrats on the win. Milan definitely deserved it. Juventus were just non-existent. Probably one of the poorest performances. I've said this maybe a few times now, but probably one of the poorest performances in the past decade from Juve. Just completely non-existent. I don't think there's anyone that you could really, save out. I thought De Ligt was playing a really good game, but obviously he can't do everything on his own. Just so many different problems, and that's where I go back to. I know everyone. It's very easy to just say, "Oh, this player is a problem," or Pirlo's a problem, or Paratici is a problem, or Ronaldo's a problem. But when you really look at it, it's a combination of different things and different aspects that are leading to the downfall of Juve. And this was just a game that you should not have lost under any circumstances, especially in the way that you lost. I think the only shot on target came really late into the match. Maybe in the 80th minute, they had their first shot on target. They just had no clue where to be. They had no clue what to do. Lack of ideas, lack of inspiration, lack of challenging. I know even at one point when Milan were up 1-0 or 2-0, we were looking at the way Juventus were pressing, where the front line was running towards the ball. You would have bet that Juventus were winning the match with the intensity that they have. And that's just simply not acceptable from a team that not only is expected to win the scudetto, which we knew they were not going to win. Some of us knew that they were not going to win the scudetto, but you have to qualify for Champions League. You have to. It's okay. It's okay if you want to think there's transition. You know, you wanted to try you wanted to try a new coach. You needed to revamp. It was a difficult summer, whatever. But Champions League is what you need. You can't be out of Champions League.
Let me pick on what you just said, because there's a lot of topics that you put into the mix over there. The last person that I would put the blame on is Pirlo, and I'll tell you the reasons why. I've been saying from the very beginning of the year that Juventus starting the campionato with the Chiellini again as a part of the squad, Bonucci, and an older defense. I'm telling you, even Buffon, if Buffon was the leader of the team in a game like this where you need to actually win, he should have been on the goal.
2 out of those 3 players did not play yesterday.
But that's what I'm saying. So what does that tell?
What do they matter in terms of
It does
yesterday's
matter
game?
because they don't belong into the Juventus. They're too old. They
But
don't.
the 11
you
players
should
that were
have
on the pitch, 2 out of the 3 that you just said that are the problems didn't even play yesterday.
You should have started to build up the game when Pirlo came on board to get a couple very good defender, and that's the reasons why you lose. Because right now all the blame goes to the midfield. Once the defenders come through and the ball they don't go through, and the midfield, even though it's not performing, believe me, Juventus finds always the way to score. When you have a weak defense like that, and somebody's going through the defense 1 time, 2 times, or 3 times, that defense is the problem. Forget about the rest. When you play under pressure, that you have to make up for the goal that you're receiving, the defense gets a lot more pressure than the midfield and the forward. Because I called the midfielders and the forward the safety roles, because they don't score and say, we tried. When the defense does not come through, they say, we have a bunch of losers. That's why they tended the blame to shift all the blame on the defense. You guys played with a very weak defense or very old defense, and you should have got rid of this a long time ago.
Well, I was just going to say quickly, Anto, I think it's more than just one thing. Pirlo, I think, had a very questionable decision-making this whole season. Pretty much he has the same squad as last season, so you don't expect this. I'm really disappointed in Juventus. I thought I was going to see some hunger from them, some determination. It looked like they won the Scudetto by 15 points instead of Inter, and they were just chilling. There was no hunger from them. A game that they had to win, and now they're sitting in 5th place. Now that I said that, all the credit of Milan. Milan won 3-0. On paper, it looks crazy. It's pretty much, you don't expect them to win that. And
I know you didn't expect it.
You didn't expect
it.
You didn't expect Milan. Yeah, they played better than Juve, but Juve were like nothing. They rolled over them basically. Juve just laid out the rug, and Milan pretty much had their way with them. But even though players like Zlatan didn't show up for Milan, you would say, I feel like he's so important. Just his voice, him being a leader. There's a quote here from Benasser. Before the game too, you can see Zlatan huddled. He had a nice team talk with Milan. Benasser afterwards, he said what Zlatan told the team. He said, when you have a player like Zlatan who tells you that you must die for the team, you give 200%. So I feel like Zlatan, even though from the beginning of the season Milan looked like they'd be fighting for the Scudetto, not doing that much, but when push came to shove, they really put their foot down, and a must-win game, they won it convincingly like that. It's not guaranteed that they're going to get top 4, but they're definitely on the right path to fight for it. And Juventus, again, I don't know what the problem is with them. And against Inter, if they keep this up, I don't see them winning.
Listen, Mike, on a game situation, don't forget that yesterday Juventus, before the game, was still in 2nd place. So all of this criticism about Pirlo, it's a bunch of BS.
It's not just him, it's a whole team, like
so
I said.
What I'm saying, you
okay,
can have a bad game. You can have a bad game. Go ahead.
What do you think?
No, I think
It's more than one bad
that
game,
AC
Marco.
Milan had a perfect game yesterday. They really played well. They found that this guy Diaz Ibrahim, he found a place in this team. He found the right position. He did play a good game. And Ibra, it seems like he always has a leg into it. Even if he plays or if he doesn't play. He gets hurt, and what happens? He goes out of the game, and the replacement, Rebic, the guy, he scores an unbelievable goal, which he didn't even hit it with the shoelaces, with the instep. He hit it from the side. That ball went. I mean, it was, you couldn't stop that ball. So Ibra had always something to do with the winning of AC Milan. As far as Pirlo is concerned, mamma mia, the guy he's so scared. He seems so uncomfortable on that bench, on the side of the
sidelines.
On the sidelines, and they say that the team is a reflection of the coach. I mean, he has no charisma. He never says anything. He looks like so depressed. The guy is unbelievable. I think. And then he goes to the press conference after the game. He's always the same way, with the tone tone. He's got no life into him. He's got to. When the team needs something, he has to put the team and
push them.
Shake them up a little
Motivate.
bit. I see some of the coaches. Sometimes they take their shirt, they take their jacket,
Like
they throw it on the floor, they're screaming and they're yelling. And this guy is always over there with
He's
the same
silent.
face, silent. I mean, come on, he's got no personality as far as a coach is concerned. Now, who put it over there? Did Paratici put it over there? So he gets most of the blame, I think. I mean, Juventus did not have a project after Allegri. When Allegri left, he said he needed 5-6 players. Okay? He was right. Okay? So what did they do? They got Sarri, they got Pirlo. What was the project after Allegri left? There was no project. And who's the head of the project? Is it Paratici? Okay, then he's got to get some of the blame for this, because this team has got no creativity. It's got no idea. It's got no way. The way they play soccer is predictive. So, what happened? Some of the none of the players, maybe a little bit of De Ligt, none of the players improve under Pirlo. Hello, you the coach. Some of the players and under some of the coaches, they improve. They improve a lot. And we were talking about Vlahovic. We could talk about this guy, Diaz. We were talking about, you could talk about Lukaku. You could talk about, some of these players. All of a sudden, Eriksson, they became a better player. And that's all has to do with coaching.
Not Eriksson.
Huh?
Not Eriksson. I'm stopping this narrative that Conte fixed Eriksson.
Well,
I'm just saying.
well, he's
sorry,
playing-
I don't want to take off your.
Okay, but he's
Eriksson's
I
a great
mean,
player. It's on him.
Okay, but the guy was not playing not even 1 minute, and all of a sudden he started
He wasn't
playing.
playing 1 minute at Conte's Inter. Lukaku, the other examples you gave are great because they were bad at their other team, and then they became really good players.
Okay, but this
Not
guy
Eriksson.
anyway.
Sorry, just keep going.
So what Pirlo did with this team, he did not show any improvement on any of the players. So now, where do you go from here? You need something right away because you need to make into the top 4. I mean, you're not that far away. You got a couple of tough games coming up, but usually when that happens, Juventus has a way of coming out of the character and the history and the name comes out of it. That's why I told you, the Juventus is going to come out and it's going to play a couple of good games. I mean, Ronaldo was everybody that played yesterday, except maybe a little bit De Ligt. There was nothing there. And the other thing about Pirlo is you have a player like Dybala. You have a player with is the most. He could be the most creative player that you have. You let him play 10 minutes. I mean, you put him at 10 minutes in that game. And when he came in, he had a couple of shots.
He was the only one doing something.
Yeah, he was dangerous in the last 10 minutes that he played. So that's what I'm saying. I criticize him because he should have been there from before. So those are the things about Pirlo that, now, the question that I would like to ask, really yes or no answer. With a different coach, would Juventus have been in a better place?
100%.
Nope.
100%.
Nope.
Okay.
To me, no.
All right.
Come
So-
on.
Not winning the league. If that's really
No,
not
not
winning
winning the
place,
league,
not
but
struggling
at
for
least,
Champions
At
League.
least to qualify without suffering until the last game for Champions League.
Gaetano, they pretty
Yeah.
much had the same team as last season.
But
I don't want to
that's
blame it on
BS
Pirlo,
though.
like I said, but they shouldn't be struggling for Champions
let
League
me remind
spot.
you
They
of
should
one
safely have a
quote. Let me
Champions
remind
League
you of one
spot.
quote. Sarri, after he got sacked from Juventus, he told the management, these players are untrainable. Everybody here said, that's ridiculous. They have great players. All I'm saying, that's what Sarri said. Looking back, we
Meaning,
could see...
meaning who, which player? Not all of them.
Anto, just read into it. He's not going to say which players, but he's saying this group of players as a whole
The
are
leaders.
untrainable.
The
So if
leaders.
Sadi stayed for an extra season, what you think he'd be fighting in 5th place right now?
They'd be fighting for Champions League. They'd be fighting for Champions
Okay,
League.
but they wouldn't be in the position
Okay,
they would
now points difference, I don't know.
I'm not saying
but it doesn't
point
matter.
difference, right?
It
Would they
doesn't
be
matter.
fifth,
It's
though?
avoiding the problem. It's avoiding the problem, which is not. It's not the coach. It's not the coach. Yes, we could say
No, he's not
there
the-
are definitely aspects
he's
where
one.
I agree with you. Where I was screaming at the TV to make a change, to make a sub earlier, because if something's not working, Dybala, like you said, is the most creative player, so you might as well just throw him in. You can't give the guy 10 minutes. In the 55th minute, it was obvious that it wasn't working. And that's already enough time, in my opinion, for you to make your assessment on your team. And it's better to just act quick and make those subs. So I do think that he should have improved in that aspect. Now, let me ask you, what do you do at this point? The rumors this morning, which are false now, it's not going to happen. They were saying that maybe Tudor was going to come in and finish off the last 3 games of the season. They already said that they had the meeting. They said, no, we're going to keep Andrea for the rest of the season. And next year, they'll go for Allegri or Zidane. That's according to Gazzetta dello Sport. Your opinion, what needs to happen for Juventus? Is it... Wait, you didn't answer your question. What would Juventus have done? With
Oh, it would have been better. Absolutely. They would be in the Champions League without fighting until the last game.
100%.
If they had Sadi?
If they had another coach.
Yeah.
If they had a better coach. yes.
Sadi?
I didn't say Sarri.
I'm asking you, Sadi.
No, I said another coach. I didn't say Sarri.
I'm asking you, with Sadi.
With Sarri, I was not a big fan of Sarri. But if Allegri was there, they would definitely not waiting. They wouldn't have won the championship, but they would not be waiting until the last game to see whether they're going to the Champions League. Definitely not. I think that showed the inexperience that Pirlo had in coaching.
Does Juventus qualify for Champions League?
Juventus is going to qualify.
So that means AC Milan is out because
No,
we
it
have the
doesn't.
worst. We have the worst one.
No, there's
Napoli's
also
there
Napoli.
too.
Napoli's got
Napoli
the easiest.
and Atalanta
Napoli-
technically.
But it doesn't matter.
Napoli's got the easiest three games on
that's
ends.
what they said about Cagliari, but they ended up dropping 2 points against
Well,
There's no easy
but
games.
The
Fiorentina-
fate isn't
But
the other team's
Fiorentina is
hands.
not an easy game now.
No, definitely not. It's very
Fiorentina
tough.
beat Juventus. Fiorentina beat
The Lazio 2-0.
beat Lazio.
We're fighting for Champions
Fiorentina
League.
is not is not going to be an easy
I
game.
told you Lazio was out though. I told
Yeah,
you.
but Lazio, I didn't believe Lazio because I don't believe in the Inzaghis. You know, both of them.
Yeah, Inzaghi did something.
The
to you,
Inzaghis, when it comes down to the nitty gritty, when they have to, there's a problem. They don't know how to solve the problem. I'm
I
sorry.
like how you say the whole family too. The Inzaghis. He says the family tree.
the dogs, and everybody. They all give up. Are you Benevento's in? Did you see the
Yeah.
Direttore Sportivo?
Yeah, I saw that it was a disgrace. First of all, he was out of line. You don't do that, and that was not a penalty. Okay, the guy made a mistake. He made a mistake, but that was not a penalty. When he got the foot that was behind, he dragged this foot all the way to the ground and tried to go look for the leg, the other guy's leg, and then fell. Come on, give me a break. That was not a penalty.
For context, we're talking about the video. Benevento's sporting director went up to the
What's his name?
referee.
Foggia?
I don't know. The referee the referee was in his car, and the sporting director went up to his car and told him, "You have a dirty conscience." And
After the Benevento Cagliari game,
he said a lot of things. He was screaming at him for quite some
even
time.
more context. It was
Vergognati, hai la coscienza sporca.
Okay.
Bravo, Anto.
At the time,
They don't even need to watch the video anymore. They got it.
At the time, it was 2-1, and Benevento could have had a penalty in, I believe, the 85th minute to equalize. They
Right.
checked VAR, and they didn't give it, and that's where the battle
Yeah, of
happened.
course.
So-
Right, but there was against Mazzoleni because Mazzoleni's been involved in a couple of games and a few controversial games. I think the week before he did allow a similar penalty, and then this one he called and said, take a look at it again. So that's where this guy Mazzolini came from the VAR.
Speaking about the teams that are going to Serie B, since we just spoke about Benevento, we do have Empoli, who won the league. They won Serie B, and Salernitana, who today also go up for the first time since, I think, 1998, something like that. Salernitana, we could look it up. Was really funny. Shout out to Joey Barone. Son of Joe Barone.
He plays for Salernitana.
He's
Right?
at Salernitana.
He sent us a bunch of videos which we posted. I sent they're going crazy over there in Salerno. So shout out to them. Congrats to them for coming back. What's really funny though is that Lotito, owner of Lazio, owns both of these clubs. And obviously, there's a rule that you can't own two teams in Serie A. So he's got 30 days to sort this. He's got 30 days to sell the team.
Maybe he's going to take all the best players from Salerno. He's going to bring them to Lazio. And then I said, okay, now you can come up and then I'm selling you. That's
He's
it.
got to sell the club in 30 days, guys.
I saw some funny tweets about who he's going to sell it to.
He put his cousin as his son. I guess he can put somebody
Hey,
else.
De
I don't know if-
Laurentiis
I don't know if this-
owns Bari and they own the Napoli. So if Bari all of a sudden comes in Serie A, what do you think they're going
They
to
have to do
do?
the same thing. I don't know if your son can own it. It might
No,
have to
I'm
be a
just
different
saying
name.
the son.
Yeah, somebody who has a different name.
Yeah, relative.
Or he just change it. He gets a different alias and just change up Lotito.
I'm sure Lotito is very creative. He's going to come up with something.
I agree.
Maybe he'll put Tare on charge. That's it.
For the sport
I
director?
don't know why he did that.
I mean, for the Lazio fan, I talked about Inzaghi. Lazio has got the best midfielder in Italy. They got some great players. They got a forward. They got a couple of forwards that are great forwards. They have a great team. But when it comes down to you must win a game, they don't win the game. And I don't know what it is. The same thing happens to Pippo Inzaghi. He wins wins some games. All of a sudden, Benevento is jumping up and down. Benevento is so and then what happens? He's very in danger of going to Serie B because there is probably a problem in the team and he does not know how to solve it.
The problem in the Inzaghi family, right? You want to say?
No, there's a problem in the locker room and the issue. There are issues. If you lose, how many games in a row did they lose? I think 4 or 5 in a row. I mean, he hasn't had a point in the last month. And what happens? Do you have a problem? You need to solve this problem.
Come on, Inzaghi.
And he doesn't. I don't think he knows how to solve the problem.
You know what? Those teams bother me so much. You know why? Because then they play their life out against the Juventus, right? Did they beat Juventus or they tied Juventus? I don't even remember at this
Oh
point.
no, they beat them. They
beat
beat them.
Juventus,
I think
right?
they beat them.
Didn't they pick up 4 points out of 6? I don't even
The
remember.
Argentinian guy scored at that.
That's
Whatever.
why your father is so upset with
that's
Inzaghi.
not. But that's not why.
That's
I
why.
just it annoys me because they're so motivated for that game where these teams do not realize.
Why shouldn't be?
And this is what I remember Mourinho said this years ago. There are more smaller teams that you have to win and focus on. They're more important because you get 3 points against the Juventuses. You get 3 points against all the other squads, all the other teams together. So I don't like those teams that have that mentality that they only play for like one game.
The big games,
Well,
right?
now that you mentioned Mourinho,
Antonio's all Mourinho out from this week. Please take the lead on this.
so what a great story this Mourinho since he came to Italy. But look at the newspaper. This guy's been on the front page of a newspaper almost every day. They talking about Mourinho. So whether you love him or you hate him, the guy, you talk about him.
Mourinho mania, baby.
Yeah, and that's a good thing for
Yeah.
Roma, and that's a good team
Serie A, yeah.
for Serie A. And that, not only it's a good thing for Serie A, but I tell you one thing, this brings Serie A to an international level because Mourinho has got fans in Portugal, in La Liga, in Spain, in the Premier League. He's got fans in Italy. He's got fans all over the world. So the Serie A brings it up to an international level where people are going to watch him. Some people are going to watch because they love him, and some people are going to watch him because they hate him.
But they're both watching.
But they're watching.
I'm not gonna watch it. I ain't gonna watch it. You
Stop
think I'm
lying
gonna watch
yourself.
By the
alone?
way, you said the newspapers are all dominated. So is IFTV. Our Instagram feed is dominated by Mourinho right now because
I mean,
the
it's
people
good,
love him.
yeah.
They love
The,
him.
the guy is coming back
hate
out
him.
after 11 years. He's got personality. He's got charisma. He could be arrogant at times, but the thing is that he brings he's a
Excitement.
gladiator, and he demands respect, and that's what but that's what you need in Rome. You need somebody that demands respect.
What makes you think Mourinho came to Rome for?
And with
for the respect?
this guy with Mendes, who is his director sportivo, they both, I believe, they're Portuguese. They're probably going to work together. And Zaniolo is going to come back.
He's looking like a beast right now.
He's going to get a couple of players. There are a few players. Maybe they're from La Liga. They want to play for Mourinho. There's a few players from the Premier. They want to play for Mourinho. He will get a player from here, a player from there, and he could make a very good team. I think for Roma.
You haven't given your opinion on this yet? Is it the first time?
Yeah, the first time.
Yeah, we've been very Mourinho heavy over here because we've been very excited. And we had Wayne on, who's a Roma fan. He even writes for Roma, their website. He writes for their official website, and he said the same thing too. Yeah. He's very happy with the move, and I think that we all are. It's finally
it's exciting.
I think when we send it to you, you said finally. That was your
But
comment.
can you imagine next year if you have Mourinho, if you have Conte, if you have Allegri, if you have Spalletti, and they're all in the Serie A, that would be some Serie A. That would be some nice games.
You don't want to miss a game.
Yeah, if Allegri, Sarri, and Spalletti can land a team in Serie A, we'll have some nice games next year.
I don't want you to comment on Mourinho. You've commented too much.
Is
Is there anything else that we've missed? Is there anything else
that.
we missed? Or can I go with Campobasso?
Just a quick thing about the Paul. I mean, the guy, he got the ball 30 yards from the goal. He went through. He had three guys on. He went inside the area and he scored a goal. I mean, this guy, we've been saying it a long time at IFTV. This guy is ready for a big team. What a nice player this the Paul is.
Anything else you got written?
That's it.
That's it.
Can I say one more thing about it? It's a question to him, please. How much you think Totti has into the project of bringing Mourinho to Roma?
Oh no,
He's not involved.
I don't know any. I'm not sure.
Do you think Totti is going to be asked? Is going to be asked to give his 5 cents on what Mourinho wants?
He is not involved with Roma at all.
Yeah,
I don't understand. We told him last
I don't
time.
think he's involved, but I could be wrong. I don't think he's involved.
What does this say, Anto?
It's a whole new balls games. It's a whole new pelotas game.
I love it.
I love that.
Good job,
Boy.
Manscaped. Manscaped, thank you
Can
so
we
much.
show it?
Yeah, show it. Just don't drop it.
Easy.
No, just show your camera. Your camera.
Mike, can I see it?
I don't know what you're
If
doing
you have it
over
backwards,
there.
I don't think they can see it.
I shout out to Manscaped. Thank you for sponsoring us again. Go get the Lawnmower 4.0. Code IFTV, 20% off plus free shipping. Campobasso, guys, they tied this weekend, but so did the second place team. Campobasso is now 6 points ahead in the Serie D table with 7 games left. I'm sorry. Serie C is getting closer and closer. We're starting to taste it.
Easy.
Are you tasting
They
it,
got the
Anto?
binoculars.
Are you tasting
Easy.
it?
No, I'm not tasting anything until
I'm
the
tasting
fat
it.
lady sings. We're not tasting anything.
You're Scaramanti.
We have a song coming up that we are preparing. First, we're gonna have the singer all together. I have already the lyrics.
Give them a little.
No,
give them
I'm
a
not gonna
snippet.
give it up. No, it's
taste.
not
Give
bad
them
luck.
5 seconds.
It's
taste.
bad
them
luck. It's
A nice
bad luck.
aperitivo.
It's
Come on.
bad luck. It's bad luck. I don't want to do it. Maybe the next one. If by next week we're still 6 point clear from the second, then I'm gonna sing the old song.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I like that.
I'm looking forward to it. Guys, it's getting close. The journey, for anyone who's been following it for quite some time too, I think it's cool because once we're going to get to that Serie C, then it's just going to get really, really fun. So stick with us for there. Guys, we're done. No other things
Oh,
to
you
talk
didn't
about?
ask me about my Campobasso.
You told us last
Oh,
time.
I told you this.
I just
today.
wanted to add
Congratulations on your win.
today. Congratulations! Today is the anniversary of 1987 when Napoli won their first ever scudetto with the god himself, Diego Armando Maradona. And something quick: the Napolitani wrote on the graveyard, the front entrance. They wrote, "You don't know what you've missed." So the people that obviously weren't there. So it was just a
Nothing.
crazy.
I'm gonna show something to your father before you close the podcast.
If you guys never saw,
Is this a podcast related?
watch a Maradona documentary
sort
on
of.
HBO. It's
Wait,
incredible.
is it podcast related or is it not? Should I close the podcast?
It is it's related to the Castellammare del Golfo. I met a very big tifoso of